routine. Routine is very important when fighting anxiety because, as I mentioned in a previous video, anxiety and depression go hand in hand, and if you don't have a routine, you can tend to fall into depression and laziness, not wanting to do anything and being lethargic and just really not getting anything done. And we all feel better when we're actually doing something, when we're being productive. So even if you have a job and even if you're kind of slouching your way through that, you still need to have a routine outside of that. You need to do something to keep yourself productive and realize that you are doing something. You're keeping active, you're staying fit, you're staying healthy, whatever it is that you need to do. So when it comes to anxiety and fighting anxiety, I would recommend having a routine of how to overcome that anxiety, especially if it's something like agoraphobia or a social phobia. Break out a calendar and write down things you want to do and when you're going to do it. It might actually help to have an accountability partner, someone you can talk to and say, this is something that I eventually want to work up to doing, will you help me do it? And you can work together to create steps to get there. So say for instance that you have a phobia of going to a store, write it down. I want to be able to go to a store, and write out things that you could do to lead up to that. Maybe driving around the neighborhood, driving to the store and then leaving, going into the store for one thing and then checking out and leaving. Making a list is really going to help keep you accountable, and keeping track of what days you're going to do what will also keep you accountable to what you're going to have to force yourself to do. You are the only person who can get yourself over anxiety. No one else can do it for you. And that sucks because it's not fun. It's never ever fun to have to face anxiety, but you never know if you've overcome it if you never do it. So you need to be out there and you need to fight it. Anxiety is not something that anyone should have to go through. It's not something that you should live your life feeling. So these are simple ways to get over it. Make a list, write on a calendar, and get it done. No need to worry about it. When it comes to something like depression, that can go hand in hand with laziness. And not saying that everyone who deals with depression is lazy. I just noticed that in my case, when I dealt with depression, I was lazy. And I know a few people who have dealt with depression, and laziness goes hand in hand with that. So if that's something that you're struggling with, then I would say write a list of tasks you need to do every day. Make sure you get things done, even something as simple as making your bed. Some people who really struggle with depression and anxiety have trouble taking care of themselves and keeping things neat and orderly. And when that is done, you get a sense of accomplishment and you feel better about yourself, and then you're in a healthier environment, and it's going to make you feel like you accomplished something, and it's going to help fight that blue feeling that you get when you haven't really done anything and you've just kind of sat around. So having a routine can really help get you out of that. I would also recommend exercise. Something, anything. Break out the Wii. Play, Wii tennis, something just to get you going. Go for walks every day. Spend time outdoors. Being out in nature helps people feel better. Vitamin D from the sunshine is really healthy for you. Do something to keep yourself active, to fight that feeling of depression, that feeling of, not doing anything, not accomplishing anything. And that should really help to pull you out of it if you're starting to sink into that, which a lot of people who deal with anxiety, they do sink into depression and laziness and not having a routine and just kind of going from one task to the other that they have to do. They have to, go with their job, suffer through that. Okay, now I'm home and I can just eat and go to bed. And that's not a healthy lifestyle. You want to live life. You don't want to just survive through it. So figure out what it is that you want to do. Figure out the anxieties that you want to overcome. Make a list, write them down, and then write down on the calendar your little steps of how you're going to overcome it and when you're going to overcome it, and keep to that routine. And if you're dealing with depression and you're having trouble with just doing daily things, write it down on a list. Even write it on the calendar. At this time, I'm going to do this. At this time, I'll do that. And make sure you're getting exercise, that you're drinking a lot of water and you're eating healthy. And those will definitely help you overcome anxiety and depression. That's all I have for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. If only I had none. If I shared my worries,
become